We bring in Chris Hine. He covers the Minnesota Timberwolves. At least he just started covering the Minnesota Timberwolves from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Chris, kind enough to join us. How would you sum up yesterday what happened with Jimmy Butler, management, and the rest of the players?
You could kind of see this coming from a mile away. It's been 3 weeks since Jimmy Butler made a request of the organization to trade him. And in 3 weeks, we've heard rumors of various potential deals, but nothing has gotten done. We've heard reports that, and we've reported that, Tom Thibodeau has been reluctant at times to deal Butler, hoping to force his way back onto the team. We've heard that Glenn Taylor wants to get a deal done. And so this whole kind of messy situation came to a head yesterday where we're getting close to the start of the regular season. Butler has to come back and prove he's healthy and still a top 15 player in the league. And he came in yesterday and he had a message for his teammates. He had a message for the front office. And then ESPN happened to be in town yesterday, and he sat down for an interview with them to really explain his feelings for the first time. And so yesterday was kind of the culmination of everything that's been building for the last 3 weeks.
Who has the leverage here?
Good question. The NBA is a players' league. And so I think ultimately the players have the leverage in this situation. If Jimmy Butler wants to kind of pull a Kawhi Leonard and claim that his surgically repaired wrist is bothering him, he can sit out potentially and still get paid while the Wolves try to work on a deal for him. I do think that he has the leverage. I don't think the Wolves have a ton of leverage in trade talks with other teams. Now, it looked like they were making some progress on that front with Miami last week. So we'll see if those talks resume. They were called off over the weekend, but Miami's trying to get those started again. So we'll see what happens here. But I do think that ultimately, if Jimmy Butler doesn't want to be here, he will not be here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. He's so passionate, and he wants to motivate Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, and he calls out management in front of management and saying, you bleeping need me here. But then does he really want to be there in the first place?
It seems as if he doesn't, and I think the relationship between Towns and Wiggins is a big reason why. To me, Butler he's kind of an extension of Thibodeau on the court. Those two they've had a good relationship overall since Butler came into the league about 7-8 years ago. And I don't think he sees that same kind of competitive fire, that drive, that will to win in Towns and Wiggins that he has. And if he's true to his word that he really wants to win, I don't think he sees that he can do that with those two guys, and that he needs to find another situation. Now, you can look at his list of preferred teams.
Chris.
Right. I know. I'm with you here. You can look at his list of preferred teams, and you scratch your head and you say, well, if you really want to win, why are you picking the Knicks, the Nets, and to a lesser extent the Clippers? Why are these your teams, and why is Miami now suddenly in play with Dwayne Wade on his last season? So there's a lot of mixed messages here. I'm not sure what it's all about in the end. Only he really knows that, and even he is sending mixed messages about what he wants.
Do you think this was all scripted yesterday?
There's definitely an element of it that was scripted. I don't think ESPN just randomly shows up and Butler doesn't come back to practice that particular day, all on a coincidence. So I do think that there was some element of orchestration to it. But this is how the sausage is made in some of these situations. It's definitely a PR move. We hadn't heard from Jimmy throughout this whole process, and he wanted to make a statement in a big way, and this was how he did it.
What happens today?
Today, the Timberwolves were supposed to have practice at about noon or 1 o'clock, and then we were supposed to have media availability after practice. So, we're thinking we're going to be hearing from some players, or we're going to be hearing from Thibodeau, but we just got a message a few minutes ago that they canceled practice today. And so they're off to Milwaukee to play a preseason game on Friday, and now this is going to be lingering kind of in the public narrative for the next 24 hours with nobody to respond to it, nobody to downplay it, nobody to talk about it. And they'll go to Milwaukee for their game on Friday, where it's still going to be an issue, and we'll see if Jimmy Butler's there. He did tell ESPN that he would practice today if there was a practice. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually suits up tomorrow night in Milwaukee.
Good luck with the season. Good luck with the job there, Chris. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
That's Chris Hine, Minneapolis Star-Tribune, covering the Minnesota Timberwolves. He just started covering the Timberwolves in recent weeks. Can you imagine that? You walk right into that.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.